What do you have to say to what Trump said that we have a dead economy and Rahul Gandhi agreeing with Donald Trump
So,
about
as
being
I
a.
said about Rahul Gandhi, his self hatred has now become a hatred for India. His angst against Narendra Modi has morphed into an angst against India. He's an irresponsible Indian. He's an ineffective leader of opposition. He's petulant. He's rude. To my mind, he is showing a total lack of upbringing. It's a travesty that he belongs to a dynasty that was once part of our freedom struggle. The behavior of Rahul Gandhi is abysmal. If I were his mother and he was older, I would have slapped him. You don't talk about the Prime Minister, you don't talk about people the way he does. You don't sit in Parliament as if you're sitting in a dance bar. And most certainly, you don't bitch out your own country. That's why they don't come to power. You know why? Every young Indian, or for that matter, every Indian, will see his comments today. India mein kya hai? It's a dead economy. Is this your belief? Is this what you value about your country? Is this your level of confidence in your country's own abilities? For God's sake, this man runs a party who's in government in some states. What will those people feel? I'm telling you, I have never ever said anything nasty about Rahul Gandhi. I was the first to praise him after Bharat Jodo Yatra. But over the last 2 years, he has become such a disgrace, not only to his family, but to Indianness and to the idea of India. I'm sad that it has come to this. If I were Rahul Gandhi, I would have never said what he did.
नहीं राहुल
I
गांधी
would
I
have,
will
no,
not
I'll
judge.
tell you why. I would have said that what has happened today is despicable.
After
On
the-
one day, you tell the Prime Minister, call Trump a liar. On the other day, you believe in what Trump is saying. I mean, look at the intellectual innocence of this man. I mean, he's so daft that he can't even understand what he's saying. I actually feel sad for him. To understand what has happened to him. He is now at a point of derision. You know, there are two things that happen in human behavior. One is I can listen to Mr. Sehgal or I can disagree with Mr. Sehgal. But suppose Mr. Sehgal is sitting and I'm totally indifferent. That is the worst insult. People have become indifferent to him and his intellect or the lack of it. When you're faced with irrelevance, you stretch at the claws of controversy. These are stretching at the claws of controversy. That I will say something so bizarre that I will create a mood where people, and he's absolutely right. There are many Indian loathing people in our country. Many of our, brethren.
Yeah.
They are. And they will remain. You cannot have an entire nation which is totally positive about India.
But what we need more and
But
more.
we will make India great, regardless of what a Rahul Gandhi or an Akhilesh Yadav says. You know why? Because the idea of India is greater than their derision of this nation. Sehgal Sahib, what my worry is, if I hate my country so much, and if I'm the Prime Minister, and as leader of opposition, I'm sharing national security matters with you, what guarantee do I have that you will not open your mouth? What guarantee do I have that you will? So that's my problem.
Yeah.
In fact, my appeal through this podcast to Narendra Modi would be disband the cooperation that you are having with the leader of opposition. Because he is not opposing the BJP. Today, Rahul Gandhi is opposing India, Indianness, and the idea of India. And that is unacceptable. And I, as a citizen, have the right to request my Prime Minister to stop all engagement where matters of national interest or national fiscal authority are concerned. He doesn't need to engage with him. If this is what the man thinks of us, we don't need to engage.
Said at the Indian Express event when you said, it's an absolute shame you called Gurugram. What is it that led you to do this? I mean, some will say, ye to rant hai, which we all do every year. But what is it that he said that ab main chup nahi reh sakta? I can't now just take this as, something that happens.
So I live in Gurugram and for better or worse, I have a lot of visitors coming to see me. And I'm very proud of where I live. but I'm certainly dismayed by the surroundings of where I live. And there are visitors from all over the world, corporate leaders, political leaders, and they always say that once we enter the complex, it's paradise, but why is life so difficult outside? And I began to wonder. I have been tweeting, Smita, about these issues ad nauseum since 2015. ML Khattar was the chief minister. Then this gentleman, Naib Singh Saini, came. Both have been utterly useless and incompetent. Both. One has got a promotion to the cabinet and the other is the chief minister. Now, it is not my case at all. And you know me well enough to believe and know that I don't give a damn about political alignments. So whether it's the Congress or the BJP, I will treat them with equal displeasure should there be no work done. We've been seeing that some of the largest corporates in India, their CEOs are all based in Gurugram. How much intelligence does it take for someone who runs Haryana to understand that if Gurugram is your golden goose, where it contributes the highest number of taxes compared to all the other cities in Haryana combined, more than other cities combined, why would you not look after basic infrastructure? Now, every time I raise this issue, I'm told, oh, there's a problem with citizens, there's a problem with the government, oh, there's corruption, oh, there's a developer-government nexus. I don't care. Do I pay my taxes? Yes. Do I pay my house tax on time? Yes. Is asking for garbage removal asking for the moon? No. These people just don't understand. So when I went on the rampage that day at the Express event, after that I got several calls from the government. Pradeep Dhaya, who's the commissioner of the MCG, the Municipal Corporation, Rajiv Jaitley, the BJP spokesperson and media advisor to Saini, another gentleman called Pawan Chowdhury, who, by the way, looks after international investment into Haryana. I mean, therein lies the irony. And I told all these three gentlemen that I have nothing personal. People are genuinely fed up. But again, Smita, people are too scared in our country to take the paws on.
Yeah.
Once this Indian Express thing appeared, then it opened, no pun intended, the floodgates of more and more public opinion. More and more people were emboldened to share visuals, and that is happening to this day. And it's good. Citizens cannot escape responsibility either. What happens is we are all comfortable in our cocoons, and we don't give a damn as long as our house is protected. But the cities are unlivable. Look at what's happening in Bangalore. When I tweeted and when this conversation went viral, Kiran Mazumdar Shaw said, but our Bangalore is no better.
Yeah.
People from Bombay. There was a very famous architect called Pinakin Patel from Alibag who wrote to me saying, why don't you also raise the issue of Alibag? Look, I'm not an activist. I'm an honest tax-paying citizen who loves his country and who knows the potential of his country. I'm saying this because I believe that this country can do better. That's my issue. So it's not a rant, it's a wake-up call.
Yeah.
The first people to shoot would be the bureaucrats, other than him.
Including me.
No, I said other than him.
Including me.
I'll tell you, the bureaucracy has been the bane of India, whether you like it or not. There are some exceptional bureaucrats, there is no question. Sehgal Saab, I was just telling about S.V. Regunathan, who was chief secretary under Sheila Dikshit, one of the chief secretaries at that time. And we did Bhagidari. Point is that you tell me, Sehgal Saab, after hearing you today on Smita's widely received podcast, what faith and confidence are people of this country going to have in our urban centers and in our urban development planning? If the former chief secretary of Delhi says Delhi was unplanned and the Mughals did it well, nowadays we are blaming Nehru for a lot. Now should we go back and start blaming Akbar? Go further back? But I don't know how far back do we need to go.
You look at the television media now, newspapers, some of our newspapers literally on page 3, which used to be party news, now every newspaper on page 3 now has Problem and solution. Stray dog menace. What
Look
is
at
the
what
solution?
this one lady,
Everybody.
Leena Dhankar, I don't know if you've read about her or read her, out of Gurugram for Hindustan Times. And I must say, whether it's R. Sukumar, the editor, or Leena Dhankar, they are the only newspaper in Gurugram that have been focusing on citizen problems day in and day out. And as
And
she
you know,
rightly
sir,
says, before and after. Yes, and Lucknow.
Surat, Indore,
And
so many
Lucknow
places.
and Surat. Surat
Yeah.
was the first.
Yeah.
Now, if it can
It
be
was
done in...
plague-ridden.
Let me say this.
If it
Look
can
at
be
what
done in-
Narendra Modi did in Gujarat with the refreshment of the Sabarmati.
Yeah.
What he did as chief minister. So where
You
there
have
is
Omar
political-
Abdullah jogging
Omar,
by the
where there is
by the
political
riverfront
leadership,
today.
Sehgal Saab, things happen. Sheila Dikshit. You had Arvind Kejriwal, a total anarchist, absolute who became chief minister and who brought the state to further ruin. Now let's see what Rekha Gupta does. You know, other than inaugurating sewers, I don't know what else is going to happen. What Sehgal Saab is saying, and I like this one point he's made. We have obliterated the use of technology in civil planning and in civil infrastructure.
Absolutely.
We have no care. A, B, you know, I used to be on the global board of British Airways, the advisory board. And once we were taken to China, way before the Beijing Olympics. And when we reached the airport, we found that almost 60% of the airport was lying shuttered. So I asked someone, I said, why? They said, that we will stagger. So I said, in the sense, he says, that planning is being done for 2040, 2040. We build today based on 1947. ये हमारा हाल है. No one is thinking of the forward planning process. A, B. You know, you talk about Gurgaon, and I'll tell you, because KP Singh, the founder of DLF, has written that in his book. Gurgaon, you're absolutely right, but it did not come because of Hindustan Lever. It came because of GE. Genpact was the first company to get in there to do all their BPT, you know, all the back office transfer processing. Then Gurgaon built. Today, it is a travesty, Smita, that some of India's largest companies are headquartered there. Coca-Cola, Hero MotoCorp, Deloitte, EY. You have 5 hospitals, Apollo, Max, Medanta, Fortis. You have everything, but you don't have an infrastructure. I mean, how bizarre is the fact that some of the wealthiest people in India live in Gurgaon, but they live in slum-like environments.
If you have to do this-
1963, Atal Setu, which is today Atal Setu, was planned, commissioned last year. This is the tragedy. And you know what, Smita, and I hope with your program and with the amplification always gets, the people in the judiciary realize, you know why the judges don't get upset? Because they live in great homes. उनके वहाँ flooding नहीं होती, और अगर होती है, they laugh it off. So the judges don't care. If I were a judge of the Supreme Court or a state high court, I would wrap the government and the bureaucracy and the citizen on their knuckles. Because see, I don't want to only blame the government. The citizens, we are an apathetic lot. We don't contribute to nation building as much as we should. I was born and raised in Calcutta. The communists ruined that state and the city. Let me tell you, all you might say about Mamata Banerjee, Calcutta has had the kind of urban renewal I have not seen in a long time. And that is because Mamata Banerjee herself is committed. So, where there is political will, political leadership, look at Kerala. No matter which chief minister, it is maintained to very high standards. Look at what we are doing to our hill stations. Look at what we are... See, when
It's
we are looking at
pathetic.
urban renewal, look at the entire
So,
urban renewal.
You know, like you go to, if I now take the name of one hill station, they will say कि तुमने उसका नहीं बोला, इसका नहीं बोला.
आप
The regions
नैनीताल
know.
का हाल देखो.
Look at Simla, look at any
हिमाचल-
of the
आप शिमला का हाल
Himachal, yeah,
देखो.
Mandi, all these places, annual flooding, वही बात है कि वो तो होता ही है. Now, irregular construction, हर जगह construction allow कर दिया. Now, I mean, waste, hospital waste thrown down the hills. You know, all these hotels throw down these unregulated hotels, throw down their waste down the hills. Plastics all over the
मैं आपको एक
place.
बात बोलूं सर,
देहरादून.
ताज इन गोवा, उनका एक आदमी मेरे को कह रहा था कि जो सारी हमारी प्लास्टिक बॉटल्स जो यू नो वेस्ट होती हैं, डिस्पोज करते हैं, you know what they're doing? They're making benches out of that. There are people who are using recycled plastic to build roads. I said that even in my Express thing earlier. Narendra Modi launched Swachh Bharat,
Yeah.
and we all laughed. Oh, Swachh Bharat. It was the most significant move that he made, and I'll tell you why. When people come to India, they have only two issues. Is it clean? Is it hygienic? If Swachh Bharat, as he addressed it, would have been the biggest problem solver. But we cannot expect the Prime Minister of India to do everything himself. What have his state governments done? What have the states done? What have people who follow him done? What have average citizens done?
But
no one's done a damn. My wife and child and I, we live in Goa. My wife and child live there. In Goa, we have got on our property 2,118 trees. 6 swales. You talk about water. We have not used any marble, concrete, nothing. You know why? Because that ecosystem doesn't need it, doesn't deserve it. You need the old-fashioned tiling system.
Precisely.
But what has happened in Goa? Wahi haal hai.
Wahi haal hai.
People from Delhi and
Yahan
Bombay
se,
have come and they
builders.
have buggered up the city. They have ruined it. They don't maintain any stretch of the old world Portuguese, design sense. There are 3 things that are happening, Suhel Seth, to my mind. Number 1, we have lost technology in civil engineering. Number 2, we have no aesthetics left in our country. See our government buildings. See our other high-rises. They look ugly as sin. Number 3, we don't have motivations for citizens and governments to partner each other. The late Sheila Dikshit managed that through Bhagidari. And let me tell you, that was an important step forward. In the middle 1980s, I may have mentioned it to you offline, we started something called Concern for Calcutta. Because as I told you, Calcutta was in a mess. What happened was we adopted one ward, at that time called Ward 63. It was the entire Park Street stretch. Why? Because all the heavy hitters would travel through that. The Chief Minister's convoy would go through that. What did that entail? It got corporations, it got advertising, marketing people involved, and we collected money. We created rail guards, for pedestrians. We created pathways. We did signage designs. This morning, and it's so ironic and so serendipitous that we are having this podcast today, this morning I've mooted a concern for Gurugram. Can we set up a body called Concern for Gurugram, which, as Suhel Seth said, will have the very people, retired people from the defense services, people from the corporate world, companies, where we make one road, in this case the golf course road, as the showcase, to tell people, when you come together, when you participate, urban renewal will happen. See, I'm a great believer, Suhel Seth, that unless we are positive about the future, we will never be able to address the present.
This group is good, but it should be part of the government.
No, government will kill it.
No, it should have authority. It should have authority.
We don't need
Otherwise,
authority.
We need authority. We need authority.
As my late
No
grandmother
one
would
is
say,
going to, no
Lattu
one is
Jalayan.
going to listen to you unless you have authority. If I am living in a juggi and you go there and say juggi chodo, I am not going to leave it.
No, we don't want anyone to leave.
No, you don't want anyone to leave, but you want him to build a better house. You want him to. After all, in this juggi, he can't be resettled because the master plan doesn't allow it.
We are not doing this work. What we are doing is actually creating a motivational benchmark to show how citizen government cooperation can yield better results. Tell us, since you've been a bureaucrat, you've been chief secretary, who anywhere in the world, if something doesn't get done, you have a neck to guillotine. Who is accountable in this country today for the urban decay we are experiencing? You please tell me, as a former bureaucrat, who is responsible? It's all right to say, ye hona chahiye, wo hona chahiye. You tell me, who is responsible?
I am not fixing responsibility. The responsibility has to be fixed by law. It cannot be sitting here, 3 people sit here and start fixing responsibility. That CM is responsible.
Who in your mind is responsible for what we are today?
The system. This system is all wrong. We have not involved the day-to-day person. It is once in 5 years the election.
If you find system on the street, give me a call, but I'll come and shoot the system. The citizen is also to blame. The developers, many of them are to blame. The real estate people are to blame. But the point is, what about those citizens who have not violated the law, who have not broken the law, who follow the law, assiduously? Where do they go? Where is their succor? Where is their recourse? And that's what we want to do.
Do subscribe to the ANI Clips channel to get shorter versions of this podcast. Click here to watch the full episode.